This week, thousands around the world observed the 30th anniversary of the Tiananmen Square massacre, holding demonstrations calling for public apologies and reforms. In response, Chinese Defense Minister Wei Fenghe said crushing the protests had been the correct policy. Joe Biden put out a lofty tweet condemning China's latest oppression, the targeting and surveilling of religious minorities. I responded with a tweet of my own, and if you've been watching our Joe China series, you'll immediately know why. The Chinese government has recently developed a phone application designed to surveil ethnic minority Muslims. The technology relies on facial recognition software created by a Chinese company called Face++, which is a division of a major startup called Megvii. And one of Megvii's most prominent investors is none other than Hunter Biden. Here was my tweet to Joe Biden. Your own son is an investor in the Chinese facial recognition app the Beijing regime is using to oppress the Uyghurs. You call it a human rights crisis while your family profits from it. Joe China, you are a corrupt hypocrite. Just wait till Sunday night on the next revolution. Well, here we are, and let me elaborate. Human Rights Watch, who originally published the report linking Face++ and Megvii with the app used to surveil religious minorities, this week said that after publishing their report, Megvii contacted them to say that their software had never been used for this surveillance. Human Rights Watch investigated further and confirmed that Megvii's code was in the surveillance app, but that it was inoperable. How did it end up there in the first place? With the help of Peter Schweitzer and the Government Accountability Institute, we dug a little deeper, and you won't believe what we found. There is substantial evidence of Megvii's technology being used in China's surveillance state. A Washington Post investigation interviewed a marketing manager there who bragged that their facial recognition tech helped police arrest 4,000 people since 2016. Megvii's co-founder has said that they count on the government for 40% of their business. They even presented their tech at the Xinjiang Security Conference. That's the province where many of the oppressed Uyghur Muslims live. So, the Biden family is making money off China's surveillance state, and Joe Biden has the gall to tweet about China's human rights abuses. We already told you about the billions of dollars in bribes he took from the Chinese government in the form of payments to his family businesses. We've seen how these bribes turned into Biden policy that favors China. Now we know he's a massive hypocrite too. Help us spread the word. Hashtag Joe China. All right, let's see what we think of that. Jason, I mean, this Joe China, just a gift that keeps on giving.
No, he really does. I think, first of all, Peter Schweitzer has done a remarkable job laying the foundation in drawing out a lot of that. But you have probably drawn as much attention to this as anybody. And we do. For those of us that love oversight, I love that you keep doing this. I don't think it's a mistake that really days into announcing he's going to run for president, Joe Biden is up there on stage and you see all the video of him talking about, what, China? What, well, you really think they're a problem? I mean, he was trying to dismiss it. Are you kidding me? Joe Biden, who was first elected in 1972, hasn't figured out that China is an existential threat to the United States of America and everything that they're doing? Yeah. Come on, that was a joke.
I mean, this issue, I think, is, I mean, we're going to keep on it. And I think if he's the nominee, obviously there's a long way to go before that happens, I think this is going to dominate the election because it's the biggest issue, how we, strategically for the country, how we deal with China's rise. President Trump has done the biggest turnaround on China policy we've seen in 50 years. Joe Biden's on totally the wrong side of that.
Well, he's definitely on the wrong side of it, and it wouldn't surprise me if Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders aren't watching your show just for the Biden watch. These are all talking points that they're going to use against him throughout this primary because they know he's on the wrong side of this. Obviously, Joe Biden is out for one person, and that is Joe Biden. When you have 40 years being in government and you have zero legislative accomplishments for the American people, he's not running on his policies, his programs, the things that he championed. He's running on some strange narrative that most people can't figure out, saying, like, to Jason's point, China is not a threat. That's insane. They're the greatest threat economically to this country.
That's it. And by the way, that point you just made about he's not running on what he thinks, that is highly relevant to a conversation we're going to have later on in the show about his flip-flop this week on abortion. Another example of that. But Tommy, I mean, this China issue is just actually, although it's huge, is one part of the bigger point, which is he is the swamp. Joe Biden is the swamp. I mean, he's just so kind of a perfect example of all the corruption in Washington that people have had enough of.
He's trying to distract from that, though, and he still goes back to that. I'm for the average, everyday working man. He tries to go the union way, and he's really trying to prop himself up on that and be, I am the in-between between Trump and the rest of the radical leftists, because he can't play the identity politics like the rest of them can. But I wonder, even though we're looking at this and the corruption with China, will the Democratic Party really care at the end of the day? I wonder. I wonder if they will actually care, because they've never cared about the swamp before. I think they're going to go full-blown identity politics, and I think they're going to be able to sweep this under the rug, or so they think, but the average everyday American isn't going to be so happy about it.
Yeah, because, you know, people wanted change from all that in 2016, and he's just another version of the corruption that they wanted to change from. All right.